The classic story always begins with once upon a time, exploring the world for the greatest stories of all time.
Hello and welcome. You're listening to the Aaron O'Dowd Show.
The Aaron O'Dowd Show. Our soul is the screen upon which we project our dreams. What's your story?
Hello and welcome. On today's episode of the Aaron O'Dowd Show, we have John Donnelly. This guy is really interesting. He's in the middle of making this amazing academy called Your Holistic Academy, where he's capturing all the best therapists on the planet in this little network so they can identify and be their awesome selves to give their awesome therapies to their clients, which is a fantastic network. Hello, welcome to the show, John. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Aaron. Thank you so much. And it's great to be on your show.
John, where are you from?
So originally from Armagh, Aaron, now living in Kildare, in Maynooth, County Kildare. Spent my childhood in Armagh and then moved to Belfast and then moved to Dublin. Met my beautiful wife in Dublin and got married and now living in Kildare for the last 35 years.
And what was it like growing up in Armagh at that time?
Great place, Aaron. I grew up on a farm in the countryside. Great freedom, very happy memories. Bringing in the hay and milking the cows and all sorts of fantastic country pursuits. Playing football, we had our own football field out the back of the house, and loads of brothers that we played football with. So it was great freedom and great place to grow up. Yeah.
Was it dairy farming or meat farming that you were doing?
A little bit of everything. Then my eldest brother became a landscape gardener. We had orchards as well. My father had orchards, a lot of orchards. Armagh is the orchard county. And then my eldest brother was a landscape gardener, and he set up a nursery on the farm. And we started growing trees and shrubs and plants and all sorts of vegetables and stuff as well. So it was a dairy farm before that. Then my younger brother, he's a farmer still. Great place to grow up.
You must enjoy the freedom that the countryside and the farm gave you.
Absolutely, yeah. I think for kids growing up and to have that freedom and the fresh air and out in the fields and out in nature, it's the greatest place ever to grow up. You always sort of in the cities. Like I love the cities as well, but I mean, you always feel that the countryside is the place for that freedom, and the natural life.
And were both parents farmers, or was your father a farmer, your mum? What did they?
So my father's a farmer, so there was 9 of us in the family. So my mother was, she was a full-time housewife, and I don't know how she managed with all 9 of us, because we were probably hard to feed, But so. And
are you the oldest or the youngest? Where are you sitting in?
Second youngest, Aaron, So I had plenty of teachers growing up, elder brothers and sisters looking after me. I was well looked after.
The hand-me-downs you must have got.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. So it was great, yeah.
And did you? So you were working out in the farm with your dad then, right?
Yeah, very good memories of especially in the orchards and picking the apples and working in the fields and bringing in the hay and milking the cows and all that sort of stuff. Great. You learn a lot of skills. So then I left all of that behind me, like when I went to college and that, and my elder brothers looked after the home life, and I left. And once you're the second youngest, you sort of there's not as many opportunities on the farm maybe afterwards. So I headed off into university and trained as an accountant and did economics in university. and then set out as an accountant in life. But primarily back then I was a footballer, so football was number one. So the accountancy always came second. Yeah.
Was it soccer or Gaelic football or?
Yeah, Gaelic football. Yeah.
And where did you play? Was it back, forward, defender, goalkeeper?
Defender, halfback. Yeah. So yeah, but it was great. It was, fitness-wise, and it was brilliant to be fit and to feel physically strong, physically fit, and the training was tough at times, but it was brilliant. That whole fitness thing stayed with me right throughout my life. I wanted to be. I always felt the importance of health and well-being, and you learn from football how good it feels to be fit and to be healthy. So you learn a lot about your own body, I guess, when you're playing at a high level, and you know that, Aaron, you're an elite athlete.
John, were you playing with the lower divisions or the county or
the very top level in Gaelic football? Even though it's only an Irish sport, but I was at the very top level of the Gaelic football with Armagh, and we had some brilliant years. So it was a sort of a passion, and it was a huge commitment at the time, but it was a great passion and it was a great interest, and we got a lot of success. It's like a lifestyle sometimes when you're pursuing that passion for sport. Like, it's like a lifestyle you develop around sport rather than developing your lifestyle around business or work. It's almost like the whole lifestyle was around sport. But it was fantastic. It was a fantastic opportunity and fantastic time in my life, you know.
Were you playing around when Armagh had that peak and that awesomeness at that time?
Yeah, back in 1977, when I was only 20, we got to an All-Ireland final, and I was pretty young. Obviously, I was only the youngest person on the team, but we got to an All-Ireland final. We played, it was a brilliant experience for me, and huge opportunity and a huge experience and a huge positive in my life back then. You know?
And as a guy in his 20s, what was Gaelic football teaching you?
Primarily about, I guess, teamwork and discipline, and you meet a lot of people. Obviously, we had a lot of supporters at the time because we were doing well, and you meet a lot of people, and there's a huge passion for Gaelic football in Ireland. It's our premier sport, and you meet a lot of people, you make a lot of friends. You get to see sort of a fair bit of traveling around all the counties around Ireland, but primarily teamwork and passion for sport and fitness. Obviously, being physically fit was a great feeling. Yeah.
And throughout your time as a player, did you get injured anyway?
I was very lucky, Aaron. Very, very lucky. I got a couple of small injuries, nothing major. I guess I was light on my feet and pretty fast, and my sort of theory was, if I can avoid get to the ball first and get away and avoid the heavy tackles, I managed to do that pretty well. So I was very fortunate. Never any major injuries at all.
And while you were playing this, you were studying accountancy. Why did you go choose economics and accountancy?
Mathematics was probably my favorite subject in school. Economics and accountancy seemed to be the natural follow-on for that then. I quite enjoyed it. It was quite interesting work. Did okay at it for a while, but my passion, as I say, was football. So I didn't really pay too much attention to the books, and eventually left that whole world of economics and accountancy and moved on into business. But yeah, it was a good training, good background.
Why did you leave it?
I got involved in other things. I got to the final stages of the accountancy, and because my focus wasn't really on the career. Because of that, I failed the exams a couple of times, and at that point in my life, I thought, it's not really for me. and also the office, working in an office every day wasn't particularly enjoyable. I was more an outdoor person. Out and about meeting people. I felt that, so I just decided, after failing exams a couple of times, I felt it was time for a change. Maybe this is just not the career for me. So I just left it. And, you make decisions at that stage of your life where you don't really think it through. You just make a decision and you go and do something else. And that's what I did. Got involved in the world of business, made a few business decisions, got involved in a few things, and just moved on. Probably when I look back on it, it was a good training, good background. Always sort of feeling that it's a good background to have, especially when it comes to business. I guess it just wasn't the career for me.
And when you failed those exams, did you feel like it knocked your confidence in the academic way, or you just felt like this is just not right for me?
Yeah, you obviously you always have that feeling that if I had to put a bit more work in, and if I had to put the head down and studied, you always feel I could have passed the exams if I stayed at it, if I didn't quit. Instead, obviously I could have passed, and you always feel, you look back, you think it probably wouldn't have taken too much more for me to get through it and to have a good career out of it. Then you look back and think, well, maybe it just wasn't supposed to be for me. I've often reflected back on it and think, what if I had stayed at it? What if I had put the head down and worked at it? Yeah, of course, it could have been a great career. And then I think, what if I hadn't left it and hadn't did all the other things I did, what would I missed out on there? So you start, it's like you can't really look back too much. You have to sort of reflect on all the lessons, and that's at the time it felt like a bit of a failure. I put a fair bit of work in, but then hadn't stuck it out. It feels like a bit of a failure in one sense, and then you feel, well, there's loads of opportunities that I got because I didn't stick. Because I moved on.
And moving on, what business did you form instead?
Well, I got into a landscape gardening business, which my brother was involved in, and I got involved working with him for a while and got involved in that. Then I got into a network marketing business. Then I got into a couple of other smaller businesses. My early business career was a bit fractured and a little bit disjointed, and I was a little bit probably naive at the time, wasn't 100% sure what I was doing. I was a little bit stubborn and wasn't listening to too much advice and making loads of mistakes. But it was all a learning process. And I guess when it came to being successful in business, I was sort of just struggling a little bit at the time and find it tough and moving around and doing different stuff. But all good experience. Again, feeling that maybe it wasn't the right thing for me either. Maybe I just needed to go back working again. So eventually I actually did go back working as a taxi driver, and had a steady flow of income from that, which kept me on track then. But again, it wasn't what I wanted to do for the rest of my life either. So now I've started another business. So it brings me to today with Your Holistic Academy.
It's interesting how you've been bouncing around trying to find your fish that inspires you, the way like you see a fisherman trying to catch his fish, which I think in order bouncing around, you've kind of discovered this is what doesn't work for me and this is what does work for me.
Yeah, well, I came to this present stage through a sort of a spiritual mission, if you like, and I was on a sort of a spiritual journey. Like, I started that journey probably over 20 years ago. I guess I was looking for the answers to what is my real purpose, what's the meaning of my life, what am I supposed to be here, what am I supposed to be doing in this life. And you start to reflect. When you start to reflect on your life and you get a bit older and you look back and think, well, what am I really supposed to be doing here? What's this life journey all about? And I got sort of, I guess 30 years ago, I started on the journey of self-discovery through the positive thinking personal development journey. I think my first personal development book was called The Magic of Thinking Big. Probably that book was a turning point. Probably the one that I remember most from that time was Think and Grow Rich, which is a classical personal development book. It's probably one of the all-time favorites for a lot of people. Those books started me out on a personal development journey, and the power of positive thinking and the power of the subconscious and all that good stuff. And for me, there's still a gap in terms of really understanding the spiritual journey and the meaning and purpose. For me, the books were brilliant, but didn't take me far enough. And I guess I started to really reflect on, well, is the answer in a book, or is the answer somewhere else? For me, the answer was the people that I was meeting on the journey. About a year and a half ago, I went on a spiritual retreat with a Tai Chi master, a guy called Jason Chan. And I guess that's where I really found the answer. And everything really started to make sense then, in terms of the meaning and purpose and what I was here to do and what I was supposed to be doing. And what the journey up to then all started to make sense to me. And it was a sort of a deeper understanding of my life and what the purpose of my life was and what the journey was and what the whole self-discovery phase was all about. So yeah, that sort of led me on to the present business, Your Holistic Academy, because I felt that the holistic health and wellness was the area that I was most interested in. The holistic approach to life. I discovered that was what my real purpose was to share that holistic purpose and share that holistic health and well-being with other people, and try to inspire other people with what I had learned.
In looking through the personal development and everything, were you kind of skeptic at the same time, this feeling like this is not for me and whatever, but probably digging deeper, you realize, yeah, this is for me, because we all ask those exact same questions. What's my purpose? Yeah. And it sounds like you found it digging deep inside you.
Yeah, I just kept on digging, because when you're searching for meaning and purpose in your life, and obviously you go through I went through a lot of stress and a lot of different times in my life where things weren't working for me on all different levels. Physically, you get a bit older and your health sort of, you start to be aware of your health. Maybe it's not as good as it was. Energy is not as high as it was. You're slowing down a bit. Emotionally, you've got all sorts of experiences which affect you emotionally. Failures in business, failures in, or even not necessarily failures, can be successes that you don't find total fulfillment from. Even when you reflect back on it, think, well, I have loads of successes and loads of failures, loads of different experiences, and you're trying to attach meaning to everything. So yeah, I guess I was digging deeper and deeper all the time, because I was still feeling that I still had something more to offer, and yet I was slowing down a little bit and not moving forward maybe as the way I thought I should be. So you keep on digging, if you like. And for me, I was the whole positive thinking phase was, well, yeah, I've read all the positive thinking books. I'm still not where I want to be. So I think, right, there's got to be a little bit more. There's got to be something more. So you keep on digging, and the experiences keep adding up. And for me, it's the journey is about those experiences and about keep going and keep on adding the experiences. And eventually, at some point, you find what you really feel is your meaning and your purpose, and what your journey is about. And some people maybe discover that at an early age. Some people maybe don't discover it in this lifetime at all. I don't know. For me, every individual journey is going to be different. I can only talk to you about my journey. I guess for me, it's about the people that I associate with and the people I spend time with, and it's about trying to understand where I fit in with all of that, and where I fit in with what I'm trying to do now, what I'm trying to achieve, you know.
How did it feel when you kind of discovered that true purpose and your mission in life?
It felt like a fresh start for me, Aaron. I got a huge surge of energy and a huge surge of inspiration, if you like, and creativity and passion, renewed passion for life. And it felt like just a complete liberation of energy, if you like, because, I mean, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, energetically, the holistic, when you look at the holistic picture, it's all energy. Everything is energy. And if your energy is depleted in any one of those areas, then you're not going to achieve your optimum. And for me, it was like, wow, the whole, on every level, I felt that I had the opportunity now to just completely liberate my energy in all areas and start on a new journey. And it felt so incredible. I felt like, wow, I was just so high on life then. I was so excited about life. And I came back from that retreat and people that I'd known for 20 years were saying, what's happened to you? I mean, you're different, you know. I was having the time of my life. I was thinking, wow, this life is incredible. This is another a new beginning for me, a new opportunity to do something incredible. And I feel brilliant and I'm excited about life. And then to the people that I've spent the last 20 years with, I was thinking, hey, what's wrong with you? I mean, you're not the same person anymore. And they think that there's something gone wrong. And I'm thinking, what's right with me? I'm feeling brilliant, right? And then all my friends are thinking, what's wrong with you? So it was a lot of fun, Aaron.
It sounds like that moment in time was the right time, but you probably, looking back, felt like, why didn't I discover this when I was younger and everything? But I think everything has its divine time in perspective, where when it happens, it's right.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's very much like, there's a book here on my desk in front of me called The Divine Matrix, which is one of my favorite books in the last couple of years. And the Divine Matrix is like, so when you say divine timing, and for me, I believe totally in that. I believe in that, that there is a plan. I mean, there's a plan for the universe. There's a plan for life. There's a plan for, in the natural world, things happen just on a natural level and happen in their own good time, and no one's in a hurry. And things, I mean, I went out for a run this morning, and life is just, life out there in nature, life is just beaming, and life is just it's in full expression, and it's just, everything is just happening without any urgency or without any hurry, and life just happens. And we obviously try and as individuals in the human condition, as we try and make things happen in a different way, and go against that flow of life, and it doesn't work. So for me, it's about for me, it's like that divine plan is there. That if you can connect to that energy every day, and just go with that, and not try. I mean, sure, as an individual, we're just a small part of the overall plan, if you like. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Makes complete sense. We're seedling in the particles of the trees. if you think about it, there's far bigger things out there, but yeah, we have this dance with nature, that we're part of nature. But yet, when you look at the microcosms and the bacteria and the fungi, we're just a little blink in the eye of the planet Earth that just sit here for a period of time and we go off, and that's us.
Yeah, and obviously we've got great gifts that we've been given. We've got great opportunities we've been given to be co-creators in that life, and co-creators in that world. But if we put too much importance on the what I call the egoic thinking, the egoic mindset where we believe we're more important than the overall divine plan, then I think we've got things a little bit backwards. But we have an important role to play, obviously, because we've been given so many opportunities. And I mean, every morning you wake up, you've got I don't know how many millions of cells that are all in coordination and all working. Your heart is pumping blood, and your breath is everything's. You wake up and thank God you're alive. You know, it's you've so many gifts. So as human beings, we've got so many opportunities and so much gifts to offer. But I think we have to follow the divine plan, because if we try and do it all on our own, we're only a small part of the overall plan. Yeah.
I like you just said there, we all need to work together to create the overall plan. I think that applies to life and business, not just the area of spirituality and meditation. We need the people around us to project us to meeting our goal and whatever it is.
The journey I'm on now, Aaron, with Your Holistic Academy, the whole intention for that was to inspire people, to motivate people, to educate people, and to be inspired and to be motivated and to be educated by the people that we spend our time with. And I have been so blessed with the people that I've got to meet in the last year and a half, especially on that journey with in the holistic health and wellness economy. Some incredible people doing brilliant work out there in the world, and right across not just the holistic sector, but right across the business sector. Some brilliant business minds. I have a foot in both camps, if you like. I've a huge passion for business, but I've also a huge passion for all things holistic. So what I decided to do was to put the two together and to form a holistic academy, which would be a support platform for holistic practitioners, but would also be a business platform whereby the business sector would be huge contributors to it as well. It's been a very exciting journey to develop that academy and to build that. And I've got a team of people now working with me. And as a team, we have got so much talent and there's so much talent in that team, and there's so many brilliant people in that team right now. I just feel like celebrating every single day. I feel like I'm just sitting here and talking to you, and I'm celebrating the fact that we have a team of people working on this, which is just incredible, absolutely incredible. And for me, it's back to my good old days in the football field. I always felt the team was the most important thing. And when you get the right team of people, you get the right team together, wow, it's just, so it's like the energy just multiplies. The energy multiplies, and the creativity and the inspiration multiplies. For me, that's what the Holistic Academy is about. It's about that multiplier effect whereby people come together, collaborate. I mean, competition is great, but collaboration is much greater.
Where did the moment, or the light bulb moment of where you needed to have this network for holistic therapists?
Actually, a good friend of mine, about a year ago, a couple of friends of mine I was working with at the time, and we talked about the potential and the opportunity. I was interested in health, all things health and well-being at the time. I was interested in the whole idea of higher consciousness, the whole idea of spirituality, the whole idea of bringing that energy, higher energy, to to relieve people's stress, to help people understand their emotions, to help people understand their spiritual energy. I was in that sort of field of meeting people and being attracted to people who had that energy, and spending time with people who had that energy right across and things like yoga, Tai Chi, massage, kinesiology, acupuncture. Those are the sort of people I was spending time with. Then I met a guy who was a marketing consultant when I got together with him, we basically talked about a business project whereby you would bring the holistic world into the business world, and you would have a collaboration between the business world and the holistic world, and you could support all of those people in the holistic world. When we talked about it, and I sort of understood where he was coming from, and we said, yeah, let's do it. Let's get the ball rolling. Let's go talk to people, and let's start to build a project around bringing the holistic world and the business world together. So I started on that journey about a year ago, and then last October I met a guy called Pat Slattery, who you know well, and when it comes to business and when it comes to strategy, business strategy, Pat is a genius, an absolute genius. I've been very fortunate to be working with Pat since last October on various business strategies and different business aspects of the business world. And Pat is a genius when it comes to business strategy. And I have learned so much about business and about how business works and about connecting. And one of my favorite things is connecting people and connecting like-minded people and seeing opportunities for people to work together on various aspects of a project. And my passion is people and connecting people and building these collaborations with people. My understanding is that it's all energy, and if you multiply the energy of a project and you've got the right combinations of people working together, and you've got the right sort of mindsets working together, then there's no limits, absolutely no limits to what you can do with these collaborations. So yeah, so that was the sort of the basis for building the academy and starting the academy, was to have that support platform, to have that connection between the holistic world and the business world. I have got some incredible people now working with me, and we're building this together. So it's not my holistic academy, it's your holistic academy. And so there's huge opportunities there, Aaron, huge opportunities, yeah.
You mentioned that you get the buzz from connecting people. Is this buzz been before you discovered Pat Slattery and your holistic network, or did this kind of come about in the last year or two?
It sort of amplified when I met Pat, because you got to have a business. You got to have a business strategy. I mean, if you're going to do it, it has to work as a business model. There's a lot of groups out there where people get together, and people obviously in all sorts of associations, there's all sorts of holistic networks, and there's all sorts of people obviously get together in all sorts of different ways. But for me, it has to work as a business project, because at the end of the day, I've got to live, and I've got to do something which actually makes a few pounds, yeah. And so I guess the whole project amplified when I got the business strategy and got that thinking, and started to interact with the brilliant business minds that I'm associated with now through Pat and through the Outstanding Network. So that's what amplified the project. I was going along pretty slowly, starting off, trying to put things together. But when I met Pat, suddenly the whole opportunity sort of opened up, if you like, especially when the lockdown happened, because everybody's sitting in a Zoom room, and we're all sort of sitting talking to each other in a Zoom room with nothing else to do when you sit talking to each other in a Zoom room. And suddenly you discover the talents of the people in that room, and you discover that, wow, there's got so much talent here. There's so much talent here right across so many different business sectors. So that's when the whole project really kicked off, when I got into the Zoom rooms, yeah.
As someone that has been bouncing around for business, and when you discovered the business strategy, did it open your mind and world to another aspect that you never thought of?
It opens up your mind to opportunity, Aaron. I mean, opportunity, and it opens up your mind to potential of building a network, building a a collaboration of people who have got so much to offer in so many different ways. And so obviously for me, it's about the team, and it's about the first of all, it's about the energy of the project. And for me, the energy is everything. And I had, through my own journey, I had met so many people who had brilliant skills around health and well-being and holistic health and well-being, and who had brilliant gifts and as healers and as therapists and as people who wanted to help other people. So I had that network of people. And then I guess when I met the strategic business people and the strategic creative business people who had the brilliant mindsets around business and how to build businesses and build business networks, then it all fits together then. So for me, then it's about how do you get that team in place? How do you put that team together of people who see the potential and see the opportunity? And I was very, very fortunate that when the lockdown started, that I got the opportunity to meet all those people in one place, basically, and suddenly it just amplifies the whole opportunity.
I hear divine timing again here with the lockdown, in the sense of you're being locked down, but yet you stumble across something and it magnitudes the potential and the timing and everything of the project you had in your mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it's for me, like I sort of wake up in the mornings and I think, wow, I mean, how did I get here? It's incredible. How did I get to meet all these brilliant people? And why is it happening now? And yeah, so that it's like you got to trust in the universe, and I've learned to trust in the universe. I've learned one of the things that I learned a year and a half ago in particular was about gratitude, and gratitude for your life, and gratitude for and loving life, and enjoying life every day, and experiencing life every day, and opening up to the possibility of what every new day had to offer. And I guess when I started, that's like a different frequency, if you like. That's like a different vibration that you're going into, because you've got that. You're experiencing that every single day. And you're sort of opening yourself up to the possibility every single day, and to the opportunity every single day. And then you start to meet people who are in that same vibration, who've got that same energy, frequency, energy vibration. And suddenly you've got that connection with people who are open to that possibility. And you're meeting those people every single day. It's very exciting to spend time and work with people who've got that mindset, and have got that positive attitude about life, and who've got that creativity in their lives. And once you connect with that, and you connect with those people on that level, then everything becomes possible. Absolutely everything becomes possible.
There's an image that's coming to my mind, and it's like the universe is the concert hall, and you're a violin player, and you know how to play the violin, but if you go to another person, they know how to play the piano, and over a period of time, you meet all these individual people to create the orchestra and the music, and that portrays it out to universe, and some magical things happen at the same while everyone is in tune on a frequency of music. And I think that's what's happening here.
That's a brilliant way of describing it, Aaron. Thank you so much. That's a fantastic way of describing exactly the whole process. And so you obviously you've got brilliant individual brilliant geniuses who I mean, if you think about somebody like Andrea Bocelli or somebody like that, wow, an individually creative genius, but he has to have a support team around him as well. And so it doesn't matter how individually incredible you are, if you can get the orchestra playing and everybody in the orchestra playing a tune, yeah, I think you can you create something incredible. So you can have, and within that orchestra, the individual geniuses can shine there as well. So everybody can shine in that scenario. So you're not taking away from anybody, you're adding. So you're adding to. So it's a creation where you're adding all the time. You're not taking away from any single person. I think so. That would be my sort of understanding of it. Yeah, absolutely. Let's put the orchestra together, and let's do it in a business model where we have we take all of the geniuses and all the individual geniuses, and we bring them together and create something incredible. Yeah.
And with your holistic network, it sounds like you're doing that. But what is your role in all this?
I would be the guy who stands at the top of the hill and rolls the ball down the hill and gathers moss. we gather up as we go along. We gather up a crowd of people. At the minute, I'd be sort of conducting the orchestra, Aaron, but that's only for the time being until I get somebody else to. And already I've got a couple of people who are I mean, my project manager at the moment is doing an incredible job, and I've got a program coordinator now, Vivian, who's put together a whole project called the Fluid Human series, which is going to be a series of projects around the Holistic Academy. I've got a team of people now working on this. At the minute, I'm just sort of conducting the orchestra, but I'll probably step aside a little bit and say, wow, you guys are doing a far better job than I am. So I'll sort of just, I'll probably go back to the farm and bring the hay in, you know?
Yeah.
So the one thing you never want to do is stand in the way of genius. And when you meet people who have got incredible energy and incredible passion for life, you want to get out of the way and let them make things happen, you know.
And John, when you say the word genius, what comes to mind in your head?
It's like deep within every person we have got talent. When we come into this world, we have got, every single person's been given that talent, given that potential. That potential is within every person. The blocks to expressing that talent are energy blockages. For me, they're energy blockages. A lot of things can happen. A lot of things can go wrong. A lot of the human condition. Talking to somebody about this recently. There is sort of difficulty in the human condition because we've got separated from our own perfection. We've got sort of separated from it through a whole series of programs. Conditioning is like, I mean, from the time we're kids, like we're conditioned to believe certain things that we can't do or shouldn't do, or it's not right, this is not right, that's not right, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, don't do this, don't do that. You spend half a lifetime or maybe more than half a lifetime living with that conditioning. And then when you strip all that away again, if you get the opportunity to strip it all away again and realize that that's all it was just a whole pile of conditions that didn't really apply in the first place. It's just somebody else's viewpoint, somebody else's opinion. A lot of those opinions are just totally untrue. The real truth is that you do have that potential, you do have that talent. Every single person has it. So strip away all the layers and get back to that perfection within you. For me, that's what genius is. Yeah.
And have you achieved that yet?
I'm a work in progress, Aaron. Yeah, I'm a work in progress. I think we're all a work in progress because every single day you have the opportunity to start again. You wake up in the morning, you're still breathing. That's your chance. What are you going to do with it?
When will you know you've reached that state?
You've got a certain target, if you like. My biggest target would be freedom. Freedom to live in a way that I've total peace of mind. I've got that I wake up every morning feeling fantastic, feeling incredible. That I go out there and meet people every day and be able to spend precious time with people that I love. Peace of mind, freedom, and living life to the fullest. That opportunity is available to you every single day. Every single day, that opportunity is available to you. So for me, that's what it's about. It's about taking that opportunity I can't say what's going to happen tomorrow. That's not in my control. But I can decide how I wake up, and I can decide what sort of mood I'm going to be in, and I can decide what sort of things I'm going to do tomorrow, and I can decide what sort of mindset I'm going to have tomorrow. And I can make all those choices, and I can decide who I'm going to spend time with tomorrow. And all those opportunities are available to every single person every single day. For me, I'm incredibly grateful for that opportunity, thrilled and excited and delighted that life is just presenting me those opportunities every single day.
I think we're the life and creator of, and the actor of our life, and how we present it through the play is what happens now, tomorrow, whenever. And I think that's what is trying to be centered, being balanced at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely, Aaron. Yeah, absolutely.
Is it right that you're you've qualification in bioenergy?
Yeah, I studied bioenergy 20 years ago, and it was probably my first real introduction to the world of energies, and my first real understanding of the world of energies. It gave me a sort of unique insight into, obviously you don't just have the physical layer, you've got the mental layer, the emotional layer, spiritual layer, energetic layer, and all the different. So that was a real eye opener for me. It was a brilliant training, and I guess that was my sort of first realization that the holistic health, holistic wellness was what I was really searching for. So it's a brilliant discipline.
If the John at that time knew that there was your holistic network where he could bypass and do what he do, would he be excited?
I would have been very thrilled and very delighted to join a holistic academy, because when I set out to become a bioenergy therapist, I had no clue about how it would work as a business model. I had no clue whatsoever, and I fell flat on my face when I started trying to build a practice as a bioenergy therapist. Now, of course, there's brilliant bioenergy therapists out there who have managed to be super successful, but I personally would have been delighted and excited to have your holistic academy available to me back then, because I would have been had the opportunity to really build a huge, solid business with the expertise of the people that I now know. So yeah, I would have been thrilled. And again, for the future, for all of the holistic practitioners out there, we can build something incredible here. We can support people right across the holistic sector with the Holistic Academy and with the programs that we're developing. That's the intention. That's the intention that I set out with this project, and I know it's going to be hugely successful. I'm going to be in 5 years' time. I'm going to be going back and bringing in the hay iron. So yeah, that's the story.
In understanding energy now, do you feel that when you were growing up, the farm kind of taught you how to be in nature and understand it in some way?
Absolutely, yeah. It was like there was a freedom, and there was a beauty, and there was a joy in that type of lifestyle. I mean, I know farming, it can be a tough business, but I know a lot of farmers who love the lifestyle that they have as well. They love that life, and they're some of the healthiest people you're ever going to meet. And people who work in nature and who live on the land are probably going to be some of the healthiest people you're ever going to meet in life, because it's a brilliant, healthy lifestyle. It can be hard work, and it can be tough. Probably can be tough for a lot of small farmers to make a living out of it. But when it comes to health and well-being, I think it's probably the best place you could ever find yourself. You know? It
sure is indeed. What you reap is what you reward, and farming in all aspects of life at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely, Aaron. Yeah.
Out of everything you've learned, what has been your biggest lesson that has taught you?
Well, my favorite mantra of all time is love life. Love life, because life is so rich and there's so much to be grateful for. so much to be thankful for. I guess you just got to be passionate about life, and wherever that leads you to, be totally passionate about life. So yeah, love life is my favorite mantra of all time. Yeah.
Why do you like that?
It's about being passionate about and loving everything you do. I mean, what else is there, Aaron? I mean, if you don't love what you're doing, are you living fully? So I've got the opportunity to love what I do. I love it. I love every single thing I do every day. I love it. I love the people I'm spending time with. I love my family. I love my friends. I love my business and health. My health is fantastic right now. I can't talk about tomorrow, but right now is the only time you have. There's no other time. You only have now. I'm so grateful for the life that I have right now.
Do you have a mentor, John?
I do indeed. I have two mentors. I have two mentors. I have a business mentor who is Pat Snatchery, who is a business genius, and I am a good student. I've learned so much, and I'm learning so much every single day. And I have a spiritual mentor who is Jason Chan, who's my spiritual mentor, who is another genius, learning so much and learning every day from both those two gentlemen. It's always good to have at least one mentor, but if you can have two, it's even better.
Do you think the younger version of John needed a mentor? Was he just going through the
younger version of John was very sort of very stubborn and very much thought he could do everything himself, and very much sort of, I guess he was just a little bit naive and probably could have done with some top class mentoring. Yeah, I think everybody needs a mentor. We're all in this life to grow and learn and develop our talents and develop our experience, and learning from other people. I mean, I learn from every single conversation I have. I learn from every single person I meet. But somebody who's got experience, somebody who's been down that path before, somebody who's done something incredible with their own lives and is willing to share that, that's a great gift. That's a great gift. And those mentors are out there for all of us. And I am so blessed that I've got those mentors in my life. It's incredible, yeah. And definitely get yourself at least one mentor.
Two if you're lucky.
two if you're lucky, yeah.
So John, do you think when we're young we're naive that we want to do all, but when we get older and wiser we feel like, I shouldn't have done that and I need the mentor, I need this and everything, but yet when we're young we want to show off that we're the best in some way?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, that's okay too, because I mean if you don't go out there and make mistakes, Aaron, I mean, the guy who's never made a mistake has never made anything. So I mean, it's quite okay to go out and make mistakes. When I reflect back on my life, I've made plenty of them, and that's okay, because that's part of the journey. And you live and you learn and you grow, and you live and you learn and you grow, and you just keep on going. I had a great time when I was growing up as a kid. Like I did all sorts of crazy stuff, and I loved life in so many different ways. And I experienced so many different aspects of life. And I guess if you had somebody back then, if I had a mentor, I probably wouldn't have listened anyway, because I was having too much fun. So it's important. I think it's important to go out and have fun as well, and make mistakes. And but there's no right and wrong way, Aaron. That's life.
Yeah, life is where you get messy, and in getting messy, you gotta clean up and figure out how to be pretty after a while. But
absolutely, yeah, it's all part of the journey. And I mean, if you don't go through that journey, then you think back, well, geez, I would have missed out on all that messy stuff. So because the messy stuff can teach you more probably sometimes than the good stuff.
Yeah, I'm currently reading John Donnelly's book at the moment, and he says something about when 3 doors open, you've a choice of one door, but when you pick that door, 3 other doors open, which I think is a fascinating explanation of opportunities in all aspects of life.
And like when you think back to our conversation earlier about the divine plan, so we're not in control. We're not in control of it anywhere. So I mean, there is that divine plan. So we just gotta enjoy it all.
Yeah, John, what inspires you?
Life inspires me, Aaron. Life inspires me. People inspire me. Business inspires me. Being healthy inspires me. Lots of people inspire me. Lots of books that I've read have been inspirational. Lots of people that I've met in my life. But primarily people inspire me. People's struggles, people's challenges, people's opportunities, people's successes. It all inspires me, everything. So I guess life inspires me. Yeah. So you inspire me. You're an inspiration as well. And we haven't even had that coffee yet. We've just met in a Zoom room.
It's funny, isn't it? I think that we're all here in the university of life. You know, we can have academic university, but I feel that in the whole picture, life is our university.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, good or bad, it teaches us. And when we're back up in heaven or whatever we call it, reflecting, we'll think, oh yeah, that was a great trip.
Yeah, it's all about enjoying the journey, Aaron. Enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
Achieving
the success is amazing, but the journey is far more better, I think.
Yeah, the journey is what it's all about. Right now, I'm enjoying the journey. I'm enjoying it immensely, and so I'm going to continue to do that, Aaron. Yeah?
John, if there was one piece of advice that you could give an individual, what would it be?
I guess, probably get yourself a mentor. probably be, if you don't have one, or get yourself two. Learn. Just keep learning. And just keep on growing, and realize that it is a work in progress. Keep learning, keep growing, keep doing, keep going. Never give up, because you don't know what tomorrow brings. You have no idea what tomorrow's going to bring. Opportunity is everywhere. And there is no limits.
If you could describe self-mastery, and also, do you think you've achieved it?
Self-mastery for me would be a process of understanding your own mind and understanding your own beingness and your own purpose and your own mission. Primarily understanding, I mean, they tell me that I think 70,000 thoughts every day. That seems to be the average, that we think 70,000 thoughts every day. How many of those thoughts have you got under your own control? How many of those thoughts, how much awareness do you have of those thoughts every day? And how many of those thoughts are positive and supporting your life, as opposed to how many are dragging in the wrong direction, or negative, or not supporting your life? That whole process of understanding your mind, understanding how your own mind works, and understanding how you can switch into different frequencies, switch into different vibrations, and understanding your own body and your own talents and your own energy system. Mastery will take a bit of discipline, take a bit of time. Understanding your own mind is probably the key to it.
If anyone's seen The Last Summer, there's a quote saying, when we put too much mind in it, it distracts us. But when we sit back and let flow happens, magic happens.
Yeah. And that's the discipline to be able to quieten the mind, slow it down, to reflect, to deeply meditate on life, to understand that there's so many things beyond your own mind. Such a vast universe out there, way beyond your own mind, and to connect into that. I suppose my current practice of meditation would be slowing the mind down, being very deeply reflective of what's going on in my life, understanding my own energy, understanding my own what I feel every day, and being grateful for every single day. That whole practice every day is vitally important, and if you can be in control of that and be conscious consciously aware of what you're doing all the time, that's you're on your route to mastery there. Yeah?
I wonder what your 105 self of John would tell this version of John right now what to do.
Yeah, I guess I've still opportunities to learn a lot more stuff. There's a lot of stuff out there, and I love learning. I love to learn new stuff, and there's a lot of stuff out there that I'm still happy to learn. I actually only speak English. I don't even speak another language. So there's 100 languages I could learn in the next 20 years. That would be a start. That would be great if I could speak Chinese or something like that. So there's a lot more to learn, and there's a lot more to learn for all of us every single day.
As someone that played GA at a young age and you watch it now, do you wish you could be playing it in today's era?
Actually, no. I've been there. I've done that, and it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant to be, and I loved it. I loved it all. But I would never want to be going back there. I'd want to be, even though I loved it at the time, absolutely loved it. And it's great to have that energy. But my current energy is pretty good as well, and I would be applying my current energy to something fundamentally different with much greater purpose and meaning for me right now. So I would never wish to be going back there again, even though I had a love and passion for football at the time, which was unbounded, you know. No, I reflect on my life, but I don't. I dwell on the positives and I dwell on the experiences, but I would never want to be going back there. I'd want to be moving forward all the time and experiencing new experiences of life all the time.
If you could draw a picture of your energy field, what would it look like?
Don't even ask me that question. There'd be all sorts of colors. There'd be all sorts of lines. There'd be a couple of little black spots, and there'd be loads of bright spots. And as long as the bright spots are predominant, that would be my major focus. Would have loads of love and passion and bright light and bright colors would be obviously what I'd be looking for all the time. Yeah, because you can have, obviously your energy can be blocked, and you can have some negatives in there, and you can have some negative experiences obviously in life that are part of your subconscious. So you don't have too many of those hanging around. Yeah?
I can't wait to see the John when he reaches enlightenment or samadhi, where he's just like this beam of light that you can turn on, that blast the light bulbs in the room, you know?
Yeah, that would be fun. And yeah, let's go there, yeah, and see what happens. Huh? We'll go there together, yeah.
Would you ever like to be enlightened?
Yeah, it sounds like it could be a fun place, yeah. Sounds like it could be a fun place. Absolutely, why not?
John, where can people find you?
Okay, so Your Holistic Academy, we're all over social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram, and we have a group. We have a website in development, which will be up and running. YourHolisticAcademy.com, which will be up and running in the next couple of weeks. I'm also on the Outstanding Network with Pat Slattery, which I would highly recommend anybody who's interested in doing anything from a business perspective. The Outstanding Network is outstanding. It's incredible. You can reach me there. We're there with regular meetings on the Outstanding Network. The Your Holistic Academy social media. If you're in Maynooth, call in and say hello.
John, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so much.
And it's been great to have you and great to speak to you.
The classic story always begins with once upon a time, exploring the world for the greatest stories of all time.
Hello and welcome. You're listening to the Aaron O'Dowd Show.
The Aaron O'Dowd Show. Our soul is the screen upon which we project our dreams. What's your story?